latest episode of Fortnite Newscast. It is August the 22nd, and we're changing up when our release dates for the podcast will be. Before it was once a week. We're changing it to 2 times a week now. Those will be on Wednesday and Sunday. So keep your eyes out.
I'm excited. 2 times a week is going to be fun, and I think that me and you can ramble on for a really long time talking about like nothing. So I think that we'll be able to put out some quality content, just more of it, more times a week. So I'm excited. So like Austin said, Wednesday, Sunday, I'm super stoked for this. I know I put something on Twitter and said to tune in Thursday night. We originally planned Thursday night, but school just started up and I completely forgot I signed up for a Thursday night class. So that's probably not going to happen. So Wednesday it is. So we got a lot of awesome stuff in these last 2 weeks. If you guys have been following along, I was on vacation last week, so we didn't put out an episode or anything like that. So there's a boatload of stuff to cover in this one. Hopefully it doesn't run too long, but we're gonna shovel it into you. So
we'll try and keep it under an hour.
Exactly, yeah. New LTM, Soaring 50s. So what this is a traditional twist on the 50v50 game mode, and it features extra mobility. So what it is if you are above 10 meters if you jump and you're 10 meters off the ground or more, you can deploy your glider. Impulse grenades have double spawn rate and also are added to the floor loot. This was something that I didn't even realize, and I know, Austin, you said this before you started, that you didn't even realize that they weren't floor loot before. So decreased spawns of spike traps, increased launch pad and bouncer spawns, and your profile stats aren't tracked in this. So if you get a win in this 50v50, you won't get a squad win as it counts. I don't know if they counted a normal 50v50. I don't think that they did. But nonetheless, they don't count in the Soaring 50s limited time game mode.
Yeah, this game mode's pretty fun. I like 50v50 just for the sole fact that when it gets down to like 4v20, there's so many people running around that you can get distracted, and you can actually come out of there with a lot of kills like pretty easily. And this 50v50 has always been about mobility anyways. You'll have someone put a launch pad down. There's always launch pads, bouncers everywhere, and just adding the glider to that as well makes it a lot more fun. So I like this game mode. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I was just thinking, and one of the things that I had always realized that had always kind of been a turn off for me was in 50v50 you have a lot of douchey teammates that will, they'll break your builds down. They will impulse you away from drops. They will do things like that. And I think that this not only adds a really fun aspect to the game, but when you build up really high and your teammate tries to shoot your build out, you can just deploy your glider and it won't kill you. I never thought of it like that until just now, but that's actually like a really cool little way that they stop you. They stop your teammates from killing you, when they're just out to be malicious. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Maybe it's it's not a counter because it's a limited time game mode, but it's a little fix, yeah. Yeah. So Sniper Shootout has been updated. Moving on to the next LTM, the Scoped AR has been removed, and the Heavy Sniper Rifle has been added. Oh yeah. And going into that Heavy Sniper Rifle, it's available in Epic and Legendary variants. It can be found as floor loot, in chests, supply drops, and vending machines, and it has high damage and a long reload time. So it does 150 and 157 damage to players, and it deals 1,050 and 1,100 damage to buildings. So it doesn't matter what it shoots, aside from players, it will destroy it in one shot. So a metal wall, wood wall, brick wall, it doesn't matter. It can be something that's already placed, in the world, not something that a player built. It doesn't matter what it shoots; it'll kill it, blow it up with one shot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I honestly, I've not used this thing yet, and I'm so irritated that I haven't got to use it. I have not found it. Normally when new guns drop, I get really lucky with my RNG and find them within like my first 3 to 5 matches of playing, and I still have not been able to get one of these to drop. One more thing to add: projectiles from the Heavy Sniper have less bullet drop. But yeah, I have noticed it hasn't been dropping very often at all in the regular game modes. It's like solo, duo, squads. Yeah. Sniper Shootout, it's pretty common.
I
But
need to play Sniper Shootout. I have never been the biggest fan of Sniper Shootout, but I really need to test this gun.
yeah, I think it's the same as the drop rate for the guided missile. Because ever since the guided missile came out, I think I've gotten it once, maybe
Okay.
in um like in the regular game modes, and this I've only gotten once or twice in the regular game modes.
Yeah, you really don't even hear it that often. Like, you might hear like 2 or 3 shots a match, but it really doesn't seem like either this gun's not being picked up as often or it's not being dropped as often, which I'm really going to say that it's just the not dropped as often, because if I find it, I'm picking it up and running with it till the end.
Yeah, and I mean I think it's just as good, if not better than the bolts.
Yeah, the only
'Cause it's
like it
essentially-
is, the only downside is that reload time.
Yeah.
All right, well,
We've
yeah, like some more gun changes. If do you have anything else to add about the heavy sniper?
we've actually seen some like meta changes with this. When you're running with a squad or duos, or even just solos, if you can manage to get 2 of these heavy snipers, if you've got people camping in a 1x1 or any kind of structure, you can kind of see through the cracks of the building, especially with wood. But you have the first person shoot the wall out, and then the second person almost instantaneously take a shot at the person. It's like you find where they're sitting behind the wall, and you have the second person line up on their head or their body or whatever, and the first person shoots the wall out, and the second person shoots them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 heavy snipers, but like any 2 snipers, I
Yeah.
guess.
I think 2 heavy snipers would be really good, because you wouldn't even have to plan like who's going to shoot what. If you both aim the head and you both shoot, one projectile's going to hit faster. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to plan like a 3, 2, 1 countdown like you would if you had to use, if you're using like a bolt or a hunting rifle. I think that's an awesome meta. I've even seen some streamers use, they would be carrying 2 heavy snipers and use them like double pumps almost, just from a really far distance. They would aim in on the head, shoot, swap, aim in, shoot again, and then they would get the kill. It's actually a pretty fast switch rate, like to where you can shoot, swap, and aim down your sights in a really short amount of time. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really interesting. So this has kind of changed a little bit. I'm still, like I said, I'm very eager to get this gun and try it. I got into a fight with the guy that had a heavy shotgun earlier, and I choked, or a heavy sniper, and I choked it so bad, and I was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna finally get to use it, and then just completely underestimated him. Yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest changes out of this whole update. There are a bunch of other little small things that have come out of this, like they've added I haven't added anything. They have reduced the headshot multiplier on the minigun. So it has been reduced from 2.5 to 1.5. This is something that I like, because if you get in a close range fight with a minigun and they are on your head for 1 second, you're dead, because it shoots so many bullets so fast. And yeah, so that's one thing that they changed. And then a couple of little bug fixes. So the grenades now properly deal damage for the week 5 challenges, deal damage to players with clingers, stink bombs, and grenades. I guess that there was some issue where they wouldn't properly display the damage according to your challenges, and now the cloth physics have been fixed and will now appear properly. This one was actually really funny. I saw a lot of people going into their emotes, and they would do like a dance, and their clothes wouldn't move, but their character would. There was like the skeleton moved, and everything on top of it didn't move. It was pretty funny. Did you see anything like that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it was hilarious. So yeah, people would do like just a bunch of like goofy dances, and their clothes wouldn't even move, and their player would just be like swinging around and stuff. Pretty cool.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, they got that all fixed up.
Going back to the heavy snipers and guided missiles really quick, I've just looked up the drop rates, and they are a whole lot lower than I thought.
Really?
So the epic heavy sniper, for floor loot, it has a 4.9% chance to drop. And then from a chest is also a 4.9% chance. For the legendary, it is a 1% chance for both. For the guided missile, the epic variant, floor loot and chest both have a 4.3% chance to drop. And for the legendary version, both have a 1.1% chance to drop. So those are extremely low drop rates.
So you're more likely to find a guided missile than a heavy sniper, right?
The legendary version, yes.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you were right that they were very similar in drop rates. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. That's nuts, man.
Well, it's good that it actually feels like finding it makes it feel like it is as good as the weapon actually is.
That's true. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Like when you find a gold scar or something, you're like, oh, finally, I found a gold scar. Like,
it's like, where's this
come
been?
on. Yeah, like you usually get one a game if you can make it to like the final 5. But these, you'd be lucky. I mean, I've played for 2 weeks, and like since the guided missile came out, and have only got it once in a normal game.
Sought after now.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that. Like you said, it's almost like going back to like, I know you're a big World of Warcraft person. It's like getting that mount dropped after you're just searching for so long, or like farming on. We used to play Elder Scrolls Online, trying to get that last piece, get that last trait of an armor set, and just playing hours and hours and not getting it to drop, and then finally getting it to drop. And I know the minute that I pick one up, I'm probably gonna get sniped from behind. But
so
what are you gonna do?
With those drop rates, if you really want to get some testing done with this heavy sniper, go into Playgrounds, which is still here surprisingly. This has been this is the 3rd week that it's.
I think more than that. I think that what is this? This is we're in week 6. Are we in week 6 or 7 of
6?
We're going into the season. 7. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it came out, I think, the 2nd week. So it's like 3 or 4 weeks it's been out already.
Yeah. So if you want to do your testing with the heavy sniper, go into Playgrounds, obviously, or if you want, I mean, it's still really rare to drop in there. It still has the same drop rate in there. But go into Sniper Shootout, land farther away, open some chests. Chances are you'll find one. The drop rate is pretty high in Sniper Shootout, and you can get some good testing done in there.
Yeah.
So, was there anything else you wanted to add from the patch notes?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's kind of wrapping up patch notes for 5.21. So yeah, I think it was a good overall patch. It was good. The stuff that happened, and there wasn't anything crazy, game breaking, game balancing, anything like that. But
no, I definitely feel the game is becoming more balanced again.
I agree. I'm eager to see what this next update's gonna be like to the game. We'll get to that later, but
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about balancing in a little bit. So the week 6 challenges, for the free ones, you have to deal 500 headshot damage to opponents. You have to harvest 3,000 building resources, and you have to search where the stone heads are looking. And that is on a small hill between Salty and the mountain with the house and the basketball court. So that was the week 2. The week 2 like search, find the battle pass star thing. It's on the hill right beside that, just a little hill.
Yeah, it's hard to explain where that's at. Like the mountain with the basketball court and the house, and there's like the ice cream truck. It's really hard to kind of explain.
Yeah, I think in between that and Salty, that's the best way to describe it. So those are the 3 free challenges for the week. And for the Battle Pass challenges, you have to search chests in Lonely Lodge at 7, right?
Yes.
You have to complete timed trials, which you have to be in an ATK to do. There's like a little, like the little stopwatch icon floating. You have to go and you have to hold square to activate it. Then you have to drive your ATK through the checkpoints. There's one near the Junk Junction Stonehead, southern tip of Snobby Shores, between Salty Springs and Shifty Shafts, south of the bridge near Lazy Links, north of Lonely Lodge, southwest corner of Retail Row, and then the final one is near the Oasis in the desert biome. So drop in, hop in your ATK, don't worry about guns, just go get those done in a couple of games. It really won't take too long if you just focus on that.
Yeah.
Get 3 minigun or light machine gun eliminations. Is it 2 or 3?
I think it's 3. I'm almost positive
3?
It's 3. Yeah.
Okay, and then the final one is kill 3 enemies in tilted towers. Those are the end of the week 6 challenges.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And the hidden battle star for the week 6 is the red truck near the movie screen in Risky Reels.
Yeah.
That one's not as hidden as all the other ones.
No, but I don't know. I really love this whole like loading screen hints at the star. I tried to do it for like the first couple weeks and it was really hard and I could never find it, so I just ended up having to go online. But yeah, I agree. This one's not out in some like obscure location that you have to, once you drop at it, you have to suffer with horrible loot until you get a couple kills. Like the other ones have been, they've just been in some really odd spots. But yeah, this one's not really as obscure, or you don't have to go up and get to the very tip of a house to try and do it. But
right. This is a pretty well traveled location. Like
you're gonna find it if you have your challenges done. Like you will find it, regardless if you're trying to or not. So, we're already more than halfway through these summer skirmish events. These were it's an 8-week tournament, and they were giving away, what was it, $8 million in prize money. We're now at week 6. So since we missed last week, I've kind of just like crammed 5 and 6 together. So luckily for us trying to explain this to you, the format was the same for both weeks. The format's called Kingpin. So what it is each elimination is worth 1 point. If you win the match, the next match that you play, you will get a 3 times elimination bonus. And then if you achieve 7 eliminations, the next match will grant you a 2 times elimination bonus. So if you win match A, and then in match B you get 5 kills, it will count for 15 points. So yeah, like that. You guys kind of understand what I'm talking about. So that's for week 5. So for week 5, you have your NA winners. It was a duos tournament, by the way. NotVivid and Liquid Poach were your winners. Second place, Ghost DMO and Ghost Bizzle. And then third place, Ghost Saf and Ghost Ghoul. We were talking about this a little bit before of how dominant that NotVivid is. He's crazy. He's absolutely insane. And I have never heard of him until these summer skirmish events started. I think we looked it up, and he's won 3. Like, he's came in first place in 3 of these already. He's placed in 5 of these already. And any time that he's placed in the top 8. The only time he didn't place was in week 3. And that's just so unreal that he's like that dominant in a tournament.
Yeah, and we were talking, we were saying it is insane to see all the streamers, like the big streamers, Ninja, King Richard, Tfue, all those guys. You don't see them on the leaderboards for these summer skirmish events. These are all people that I personally have never heard of before. I'm sure most of you guys haven't heard of most of these people. They're coming out of nowhere. You're finding like the true, like, good players, the ones that aren't streamers, that aren't YouTubers, just or big streamers or YouTubers, just kind of coming out of the woodworks and showing what they can really do.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually was watching an interview with Ninja a while ago, and people were talking like, how are you so big? Like, what do you do? And he was saying the biggest part of being a streamer is you could be amazing at this game. You could be the number 1 player in the world, but if you're not entertaining, people aren't going to want to watch you. And I'm not saying that, NotVivid or Liquid Poach or, the Ghost team, they're not entertaining, but it's just the fact that people like, Ninja and Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo, they're so entertaining to watch and they're good, but they might not be top tier good. And I don't want it to sound like I'm, just like shitting on anyone's favorite streamer or anything like that. No, I love Ninja. I love Tim the Tatman. I love, Courage, everything like that.
Okay, Ninja and Lupo are definitely top tier good.
Yeah, like they're top tier good, but I'm saying like when they go up against NotVivid and Ghost Bizzle, it just doesn't seem like they're the number 1 player.
Right.
It's it's weird to think about, but yeah, it's I think you just said it was 70% entertainment, 30% skill. You could be really entertaining and not be that great at the game and still be able to, have a massive fan base
It's cool. I don't know. Twitch is a streaming and as a whole is just it's a weird beast to tame, and I haven't tried it, and I don't think that I could. I don't think I could do it. I would like to try it someday to see what would happen, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
You're
Anyway,
you're not gonna quit your day job.
no, not exactly. I'm not gonna quit my day job. But yeah, so the EU servers, the winners of that, Twitch Kensal and Atlantis Metro, were the winners. So all right, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this name. Twitch
Kejser.
Kejser. I don't know.
Kejer.
Yeah,
Kejser.
and then Octagon Severin. They got second place.
Two were second place.
Yeah, and then Zypher, Tesquo, TTV, and Zypher Snafu got third place. And those are your week 5 NA and EU winners. So then week 6, same format. It was also duos, but this one was a little different. What they did was they had a day 1, and then they had 2 groups playing over 2 days. So there's your day 1 group 1, which was these were EU. Amar Cod and Aim Sons were your first place winners. Fnatic Eric and Tomo were second place. And then day 1, group 2 was the NA side. So Nate Hill and Funk Bomb were your winners. Nick Merckx and Cypher PK were second place. So day 2, group 1. This was the same group that played on day 1. So it's not like a completely different pool of streamers or anything like that. So Gotaga TV and Mikolo were your winners on the EU side. Fnatic Eric and Tomo were your second place on the EU side again. They got second place both days in a row. Clap, clap to them. That's awesome. Day 2, group 2. So this was NA. King Richard 215 and Ghost DMO got first place. Disguised Toast and who would be surprised? NotVivid also on that team getting second place on day 2. He just doesn't go away. You can't do anything to get him out of like the top bracket. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I bet his fame has kind of picked up quite a bit after all these wins.
For sure. And I don't even want to add up how much money that he's won from these tournaments because it would probably make me sick, to be completely honest. Yeah. He's probably won at least over $1 million.
Let's not add it up.
So yeah, that's the summer skirmish events.
So some really big news for you guys. Patch 5.3 drops Thursday, the 23rd. So this Thursday, tomorrow actually, and the challenges will be available on Friday. So apparently they're adding a whole lot to the game. They're making some changes, but a lot of it is still just kind of what's been leaked, what the devs have said. So we don't have the full information yet. Check back on Sunday, and we will be going over those 5.3 patch notes. But what we do know right now, there's a new item being added to the game. It's called the Rift to Go, and it's a rift you can carry in your pocket. Use it to teleport above your current location and glide down. So instead of having to go and find these rifts, it's an epic item, I believe. Instead of going and having to find these rifts, search a chest, you might find a rift to go, and you can use that wherever you're at. It doesn't matter if you're 5 stories down in a huge build fight and you've got a bunch of stuff on top of you. Sorry. It'll teleport you up into the sky just like a normal rift will. That'll be insane. I think that'll be maybe not game changing, but it'll add a whole lot to the game. Like when you get in gunfights that you can't win, or you and your teammates are losing, you use that. You build yourself in a box and you're trying to heal, and instead of having to launch pad out of there or build your way out, you hit this rift to go, and you're out of there.
Yeah, I wish I had a rift to go the other day. We were playing squads and tilted, and that was the scariest moment of my life. We ended up we hid behind a trash can for a couple minutes, and actually we found a path out to a jump pad, and that was like, I've never been so like nervous. This was like just after coming back off my vacation and being just super rough, and my fingers just didn't know what to do. And I was brought down to like 5 health. I was at probably 5 health for a good 2 minutes, just sitting and tilted behind a trash can, waiting for like the 4 teams around me to quit fighting. It would have been awesome to have a rift to go.
It was pretty intense.
I think that the rifts to go are going to be really cool. You said they won't be game changing, but I don't know. I think that they might be. I think that you're going to see a lot more ability to escape inevitable death. Like, I don't know. The way I'm thinking of it, I just had this scenario pop into my head. Someone builds a sky base.
right? You shoot down the sky base. While they're falling, they just chuck the rift to go on the ground. And I'm wondering if the rift spawns a rift for 5 seconds that you and your team can jump into. Or if it,
Oh.
like, you throw it and you just teleport into the air. So I don't know if it's
So it
going
is
to
a thing
be.
you have to throw?
I don't know. I think it could be, because I think it would be cool if you're shooting. Sorry, I bumped my mic. I don't know if that's going to be super loud. But I don't know if one thing that you could do would be there's a team fighting you and they're all grouped together. And instead of you flying away from them, you throw that rift at the team and shoot them up into the air and use that time to get back into a building and snake your way somewhere else. That could be kind of cool if that's the way that it's going to work. Or, like I said, while you're falling and you know that you're going to die from fall damage, swap to a rift, throw it on the ground real quick, and then you will land in the rift and pop back up into the air.
I personally don't think it's going to be a throwable.
No?
I think it's just going to be a consumable. You press the button and it throws you up into the sky.
Okay, so I think that would be different. That's going to be a lot different, because how's that going to work with, if you're playing squads and you have your team around you? Will it kind of consume anyone in a,
I think it'll just
5x5 area? Just personal thing?
Yeah, because if
That'll
you
be
want to
interesting.
teleport the whole squad, you've got to go find these rifts.
Yeah,
That's true. I don't think they're going to give you the ability to move your entire squad off of one item.
Yeah, that does seem a little that seems game changing and game breaking. But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm excited to see kind of what this is going to do and just exactly how this thing will function.
Yeah,
It's a cool
I'm
idea.
really excited.
I love it.
I think it's a good idea, because I think a lot of people have been saying the rifts have been the best things that have been added to this game since its inception.
Yeah, without question. I mean, the hop rocks were cool too, but I would take rifts over hop rocks any day, or the jump rocks,
absolutely.
moon rocks, whatever you call them.
Because it just really increases mobility. But having this, because the jump rocks went away after last season, to be replaced by rifts. So we can only assume that after this season the rifts will go away. But now having this portable rift that can drop out of a chest, adds something to the game. It's keeping something that players were really interested in, but still going away from the theme of this season.
Yeah, for sure.
So another change that they said they'll be implementing is a pump shotgun change. So Eric Williamson, who's one of the game devs, right?
Yes, I believe. I don't know. I need to verify it on Twitter and talks about Fortnite all the time. And I think he's pretty sure. I'm almost positive he works for Epic.
Okay, so he tweeted regarding shotgun equip times. Current thinking is to reduce shotgun equip time slightly in update 5.3 next week. Other shotguns will remain unchanged for now.
Yeah, I'm stupid and can't type. That was supposed to be pump shotgun equip times. So it's only for the pump shotgun.
Okay, so I guess we can assume that when you switch to a pump shotgun, you will pull it out faster now.
Yeah. You'll still have that in-between delay, I would assume. I mean, if they take it away for the pumps, they have to take it away for everything else. So there's still going to be that reduced time. It's just not going to be as horrible for the pumps.
Basically, you still can't double pump, but it'll be quicker to pull it out.
And you could try and double pump.
Yeah.
You could try. Just try to run at me when you try to double pump, so I can attempt to kill you faster. Yeah, so I'm cool. I'm excited.
We'll test that ourselves when the update drops on Thursday, and we'll talk about it more on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. And this time is my favorite time of the podcast, when we get to just speculate the hell out of a certain topic. And it is the return of the Tomato Head. So if you guys haven't made your way to Tomato Town yet, Tomato Head is back, and not really better than ever. He's just kind of back. He is small. He's tiny. Like he comes up to about your person's waist. He looks like he's made of stone. My theory is he's not a stone, but he's almost like a seed, like growing, and he's gonna return to his former glory someday. But right now he's just like a very brown and gray washed tomato head. So a user on Reddit named Omega Tier 100 discovered that the new tomato head is facing a different direction. And upon searching this, I don't know how he searched it. I think probably in replay mode or something like that. He realized that it is facing directly at the bunker that was introduced in Season 4 inside of Wailing Woods. The bunker that everyone kind of speculated when the rocket was going to launch, the bunker would open, and you can go to the bunker and save yourself. But as you guys have figured out after the rocket launch, that's not true. This bunker has just kind of remained there. It's unbreakable, undamageable, anything like that. But now the Tomato Head is facing directly towards it. Is it going to mean something? I don't know. Could it mean something? Yeah. Could the Tomato Head become full size and have a giant laser in his mouth and blow the bunker open and release an underground part of the map? Possibly. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Austin?
I don't know if I really have any thoughts on the whole Tomato Head thing.
Mm-hmm.
The bunkers have been there, like you said, since last season, and nothing happened with them. Nothing happened with them last season. There's no implications other than the whole Tomato Head thing that anything will happen with them this season. So I'm really assuming they're just there for kind of like aesthetics.
Yeah.
But I think it is about time that we see some updates. Like going off of the story. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot to mute my phone. It's about time that we see some like map changes and story changes for this update, because there really hasn't been any. There has been no story to this season like last season. Last season you had the superheroes versus villains. This time we're still not even really sure what the theme is.
Yeah.
If you look up in the sky, the crack in the sky is closing. Stuff came back from, I guess you could say it's pulling stuff from different times. The only thing that we really have for that are the Vikings.
That's
Nothing
true.
else.
Yeah.
I don't think there really is a definitive theme for this season yet. And
it's obviously Vikings versus spray painters, I think is what it is.
Great theme, Epic. But yeah, it's a little disappointing because I was expecting there to be a lot of story for this season, especially coming off of the awesome season that we just had. And it's kind of been a letdown so far, story-wise.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that, but the way that I'm trying to be optimistic about it is that they haven't given us too much yet, and in the last 3 weeks of the season, they're just going to absolutely blow us out of the water. And it's going to be sweet. I'm hoping that I know we haven't talked about it yet, but with the new road trip skin getting introduced, this week? Next week?
Next week. Well, actually, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Right?
So, yeah, once you get the challenges, then you'll get the road trip skin. I'm hoping that since I think it was at about this time last season, the road trip skin, when it got released, it was actually the traveler that was trapped inside of the meteor that made the rocket and flew back to space. So, I'm thinking once this road trip skin gets released, we're going to see that story pick back up, and it could be, somebody else returning through the crack to come and finish, what the traveler, I forget what his name is, what he started. I think that would be cool. Yeah, we could see some sort of alien creature or something coming back from space to kind of just finish that work. You think the rocket will?
Well, I think that would be a logical step because the rocket just disappeared through the time crack, and we haven't seen anything else of it.
Yeah, so we could see that rocket. We could see a completely different rocket. We could just see a missile. I don't know, but all the timing's a little fishy because once the blockbuster happened last year, stuff started actually really picking up. We had a good decent story throughout the whole thing, but then it started really picking up at that moment. So I think that within the next week we're going to see a map change, or maybe not specifically the map, but maybe something in the sky or in the background. And then week 8 or 9 we're going to see something huge, massive. I don't think it's going to be week 10. I think it'll be week 9. We're going to see something huge.
Hopefully. Yeah, like I said, I'm just a little disappointed because there really hasn't been a whole lot yet. There hasn't really been anything other than the skins and whatever theory you can deduce from the releasing of the skins, but they all just seem kind of random to me.
They really do, even though the skins have been sweet. The last ones, like Whiteout and Overtaker, they were awesome. The Galaxy skins, finally.
Yeah, but we're not talking about
the Galaxy
cool
skin. Yeah, but like there's nothing like last season where it was some sort of superhero or some sort of evil minion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you that the story's not there. It hasn't been up to par, but really, Epic has always come out of the woodwork to surprise me. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but it'll be cool. I can guarantee it'll be really cool.
And if they are going to do something about it, we should expect it pretty soon, because it is. I mean, we're coming up on week 7 here. Week 7's dropping Friday, so yeah, now would be the time for them to start implementing story changes if there were going to be any.
Yeah, I think we'll see it.
5.3 might actually be that.
It could be.
Because I mean that would kind of make sense if you had like a mad scientist come in and he was able to put the rifts in a bottle.
Like a Rick Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Come here, Morty. We're gonna go hop through the dimensions, Morty.
I got a rift for you, Morty. Here's my portal gun. Yeah, that would be sweet. That'd be awesome.
All right, so that's our speculation for the week. The very last thing that we want to talk about is a possible bug. Maybe it's by design. It's just something that we noticed. But you cannot build ramps when a shopping cart is in the way. Pretty self-explanatory, kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Ride a shopping cart into battle. It's the same with ATKs, right?
I don't know. I haven't tested it yet. I think that you could still build over an ATK, which makes me think that it's a bug. Because I think that if it was intentional that you couldn't build, like you could still build through an ATK. They might have changed it. I haven't tried to build over an ATK yet. But I did notice during a couple fights I was trying to build a ramp and it wouldn't even let me place it. It wasn't like one of the ones where you place it and you phase through it. It's not like that. It's just a complete no-go on the ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about
all
it, man.
This week.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't already, you guys know where to check us out. I mean, you can check us out on YouTube, search Fortnite Newscast. You can check us out on Twitter @CastFortnite. You can find all the podcast episodes on Spreaker, Stitcher Radio, iTunes. We're now actually this is kind of big, and I just forgot about it until now. We're now actually on Spotify, and we're also on iHeart Radio. That was cool. I got that email actually rolled through maybe 30 to 40 minutes before we started recording the podcast. So that's really cool. So yeah, go check us out on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker if you guys want to go through Spreaker. So yeah, been exciting. So now, yeah, like we said earlier, we're going to be recording 2 times a week now. We're going to put web episodes up on Wednesday and Sunday. So I will throw a tweet up on Twitter just to remind you guys about that and when we're going to go live. Or not live, but when the updates are going to happen. The uploads are going to happen. I can't talk. All right, guys. Just remember, stay average. Have a good time. Keep playing Fortnite. Look for some changes. Yeah. All right. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.